Hello, sir, can you hear me?
Yes, Sudhanshu, we can hear you. So, good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, before we move ahead, can I
Mhm.
ask a quick question from the last session? While I was
Yeah.
going, yeah, while I was going through the videos, I
Hmm.
saw on the last pivot, the pivot number
Hmm.
9, when you introduce a slicer,
Hmm.
you insert a logo,
Hmm.
and on the right side also you have inserted some chart kind thing. I did not
Icon.
understand that part.
Icon.
Yeah,
Well, that is not
icon.
available. Yeah, that is not available in 2013. It's available only in Office 365 or 2019 or 2021.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let me share my screen. All right. So today we'll be start working with our file name called corporate case studies. Okay. So kindly open that. And just to remind you, we have done up to our data visualization sheet, the exercise, and we'll be working with the sheet name called lookup. So kindly confirm once the same file and worksheet is opened in front of your screen.
Yes.
All right. Mantu and Shifa, could you please confirm? Is the same file, same worksheet is opened?
Yes, sir.
Right, great. So, since we have got three participants, I would like to just first ask a question. Uh, Anybody who doesn't know what is VLOOKUP? If you do not know, I'll start from the scratch. If you know, then I'll skip the topic. We can learn something more, even better, or we can learn something new. So if you do not know, drop me a message or unmute and speak. I don't know. I will help you out. Okay, so can I consider that everyone is aware of VLOOKUP? Yes, Sudhanshu, Mantu, Shifa.
My understanding is I mean, so far I have used the VLOOKUP just to find out the, I mean, from a very large raw data. If
Hmm.
I need something very limited amounts of data, then in that case, I used to apply the VLOOKUP.
Right, that is what
If
the objective to search the records only. Okay, so I'm quickly just making a brush up on that. Okay, just have a look. See, VLOOKUP, V stands for vertical. So whenever you have certain data, you are looking for some information about this data. So the other master records may be in a different location or different Excel file, different Excel sheet. Then instead of searching one by one, we'll engage our formula called VLOOKUP. So whatever the things we do normally in the usual actions or the manual task, the same thing Excel does by taking the help of VLOOKUP. But how VLOOKUP works and what are the elements are there, how to write that, let me take you through. Suppose say I have a master data over here, okay, like this. And this is containing the brands and rates. Now I have my own list of brands and I need to check the rates for those respective brands from the master data. So if that is the case, as we develop the practice, what we need to do first, I will go and select the range and I can start working with my formula, not a problem. Else, I can start creating my formula in one cell. So let me just go to the second option is equal to VLOOKUP. Now what it asks me, lookup value. What is the meaning by lookup value? What we have with us to search. So I have got my own brand that is Acer to search. That becomes my lookup value. Come on. Then what it asks? Table array. So table array is nothing but where to search your data in the master data set. So now this entire data set becomes my table array. Well, comma. Now what it asks me, column index number, COL stands for column index number. So what would be my column index number? How to count that and how to answer it? See, you have to go one step back. Table array, when you define, can you see it has applied a maroon color border to that master data set? Yes. So it is giving a message that you need to focus only in this border area. So in this border area, how many rows, how many columns are there? We have got two columns. So brand is the first column, rate is the second column. Now, how do you read your data? Why not rate would be the first, brand would be the second? Because ideally we read our data from left to right. So the leftmost column is column one and immediate right, whatever it is there in the border area is column number two. Out of these two columns, already brand is there with us. What we are looking for? We are looking for rate. And rate is in which column in the border area? In the second column. That's why column index number is supposed to be 2. So how to make a count of column index number? We got that understanding as well. Now, comma. What it is asking? True, false, approximate match, exact match, range lookup, something it is asking, right? Range lookup. Now, what is this range lookup meaning? Forget about this completely. This is quite complex. At this state, just go for 0. So 0 stands for nothing but exact match or one-to-one match. Now, what exactly it is going to match? See, what is the significance of 0? Try to understand. The brand, what I have, Acer. What is the spelling? ACER. If at all it is there in the master data set, same spelling of ACER, that just calls as a one-to-one match or exact match. And then only the corresponding column, whatever the data, 22,000, it is going to be populated in the rate column. So this is called our nothing but one-to-one match or exact match. For that, we are typing 0. Now formula is ready. Hit enter. The same we can apply for others. So I can select the range completely, Control D. But certain cases you can see it is not picking the value. Where? Exactly Dell, then Samsung, then Toshiba. It doesn't pick up the value. Is it not there in my master data? All are there. Then why only these three cases? The reason is if you look at the formula of Dell, what is happening? When the formula goes down, you can see this range is also moving down. Can you see that? Ideally, it has to start from the brand or Samsung, but it is just leaving them. Similarly, if you go to Samsung, it goes further down. Can you see that border area? So this is the problem. And we have seen how to rectify all these things in our day one, day two also we have seen that, right? So basically what we need to do, the range which is creating a trouble, we need to fix it by locking the same. So how to lock it? By using F4. Excuse me. Now, the moment I go for F4, it is applying $2 symbol and making this complete lock. No movement, neither towards down nor towards right. Formula is rectified only with one cell. Need to apply for rest. Control, enter. So this is how, whenever we are searching the records from the huge data set, we can use VLOOKUP over there, and that can be applied in between two different Excel sheets, two different Excel files. Not a problem at all. Now this is called our VLOOKUP formula. Hope it has brushed up clean and clear. Any doubt, any queries?
Working for me.
Okay, right. So I believe now VLOOKUP is clear. Whatever we have, so we all are in equal page. Now we'll go for our H lookup. So H lookup, H stands for horizontal. It works like VLOOKUP, only all the logics are same, but only in case the value or the data is appearing in terms of horizontal format. We cannot apply VLOOKUP over there. We have to go for our HLOOKUP. So H stands for horizontal. Okay. Now here you can see same data we have taken. Just focus first, 1 minute. So I have got two row items over here, naming called brand and rates. Now consider these are our master data. Okay. Now below to that, you could see a list of brands is appearing over here, and we need to find out the rates for those brands immediate below by taking a look at the master data. Now, if that is the case, then how to deal with? So, as I told you, it's quite similar like just VLOOKUP. So first we'll go and select our array where we need to apply our formula. Start working with me. Then we'll go for equal to HLOOKUP. So when we go for HLOOKUP, what it is asking me? Lookup value. Like VLOOKUP was also asking lookup value. Here also we need to go for lookup value. All right. Now, what is the meaning by lookup value? As we told or discussed, what we have with us to search. So we have got is a brand to search, comma, table array. I told you table array, where to search in the master data. So master data entire array, I can take it over here. Now, since we have seen the problem in VLOOKUP, when we copy the formula down, this kind of range was moving down. Similarly, when I copy the formula right, this range is going to move right, then I'll be facing the trouble. So when I know this problem is going to come, then what I'm supposed to do? I should lock it. How to lock? By using F4 or function F4. Depends upon the brand of laptop or the keyboard behavior you have. Now, comma. What it is asking, row index number. What VLOOKUP was asking, column index number, because the data was in vertical format. Now since our data is in row format, it is asking row index number. So I told you how to count this. Go one step back. In that border area, table array, how many rows we have? We have got two row items. And which is the first row? Brand is the first row. Which is the second one? Rate is the second one. So why we don't read our data from rate to brand? Because our IT procedure, we always read our data from top to bottom, not bottom to top. So we can't consider rate as first row item and brand is the second row. So we have to go for top to bottom only. So brand is the first row, rate is the second row. Now, which one is there already with us? Brand. What we are looking for is the rate. So which row it is? Second. So how to consider row index number 2 in the table array? We got the basic understanding. Now, come on. So as I told you, in case of VLOOKUP, same thing is asking, and I told you very simple rule, go for 0 for exact match or one-to-one match. Formula is ready, only for a cell, need to apply for rest. Control, enter, and immediately you will be finding your results are ready. So this is how, whenever there is a need, we can go for simply HLOOKUP for horizontal lookup. If your data is there in horizontal format, you can go for this. So what is VLOOKUP? What is HLOOKUP? We got the basic understanding. If you have any queries, feel free to ask.
Work for me. Uh,
Okay.
I have one question here, sir.
Yeah,
Uh,
please ask.
yeah, while using the VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP,
Mhm.
I mean, we can use the trim function or proper function or multiple function as per requirement. But my question is, for example, if we are going to use the trim formula, so the trim will trim the spaces in, I mean, in the starting or end position, or it will trim the spaces in between also.
See, you need to first understand the logic of trim. Trim can be applied with any formula, any function, no issues. But the moment you go for, suppose say if you have only one word, say Excel. Okay. Now in this Excel, if I have got some space, then technically if you look at how many characters it is supposed to be, it is of 5 characters, but I have 8. Now I can go for simple trim formula, and when I go for it, now it is going to give you the same number of characters what we have. So what happens? Since I have got one word over here, though the spaces are there in the end or in the beginning, anywhere, it will still trim those things. Don't worry. But when you have more than one word, say I have got say Ram space Prashad, and I have got another space something, and before Ram also I have some space, and in between Ram and Prasad also so many spaces are there. So technically there are 18 characters. You can see it is showing. And when I go for trim, what happened? What it is giving me? It is exactly trimming everything in the beginning or at the end or in the middle. And since it is of more than one word, there should be a separator. There should be one delimiter at least should be there. So one space it will retain and all the rest of the spaces it will remove if it is of more than one word. Hope it is clear now.
Yes, and also
Right.
can we use that control H option, like the find and replace, like to find the space and replace with uh,
Yeah, that you can do all the time, but the problem would be what will be happening if you have more than one word, that ideal separator also it will be replaced. So that will be a problem. So don't go for
for
find and
example?
replace. See, now if you go for find and replace over here, suppose you have data something like this. Let us take it in this way. Okay. Now I have taken this data completely like this. So I have the data, no doubt. But the thing is, when I go for Control H, and if I go for finding what space, replace with nothing. So what is happening? Can you see that?
Okay,
Hmm.
everything is replaced
Right.
and
So whatever
merged.
the ideal separator also, that will be also replaced. So that is not the ideal option. So better you go for trim formula only so that it will be ideally trimming the unwanted spaces from the data.
Okay, all right, all right.
Right. Right. Fine then. So I believe now we all are clear with our VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. But most important part, the moment you are using VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP people, there are certain rules you need to follow. Now, what is that rule says? Let me take you through. Say, the moment you are working with either VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP, you cannot apply wherever you wish the VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP formula. So certain rules, as I said, it has to be satisfied. So let me take you through those rules first. Rules number one, VLOOKUP says that when you apply VLOOKUP formula, the data has to be in vertical format. Now, which data has to be in vertical format? You have to know that. Now, there are two setup of data. One is my master data, one is my data. So the master data has to be always in vertical format. Then only VLOOKUP will help us. So this is called nothing but the data has to be in vertical format whenever you go for application of VLOOKUP, and that is should be master data. Similarly, HLOOKUP says that the data has to be in horizontal format. Then only it will help us. Now, which data? Again, the master data, not our data. Now, rule number two, VLOOKUP says that there should not be any duplicate in the master data or master record or vendor master, anything you name it. So what does it mean? Let's see. If I'm asking vendor to give the master data, suppose the vendor has given this brand and in brand column, any of the brands should not contain duplicate, or it should not appear more than one time. Now, if it is having duplicate, VLOOKUP will always pick the first value, because VLOOKUP only works with the unique data entry, and it understands that in the range, whichever it comes first, that should be the original or unique data. Rest of things will be duplicate. So this is the reason why you have to ensure that from the master data, when you are fetching your records, the common criteria, the common column should not contain any kind of duplicate. So if at all duplicate is there, VLOOKUP will pick the first value. Similarly, same rule goes for our horizontal format of our data also. So when you are trying to apply HLOOKUP, that also says master data should not contain any kind of duplicates. But the rate may be duplicate, no problem. In my data, brand may be duplicate, no problem. But in the master data, brand column, that is common criteria, should not be containing any duplicate. Similarly, rule number 3, VLOOKUP says that the data flow has to be always left to right. The data flow has to be always left to right. So what does it mean? Now, suppose say take an example. The moment I ask the vendor to give the master data or something, suppose he has not given like this. He has given something like this. Then VLOOKUP cannot read our data from right to left. Right to left, it cannot read the data. So it doesn't mean that, or it's not necessary that the data has to be there with immediate right to the brand column. It can be something like this even, no problem, no worries. And while selecting the data, you should start selecting from brand as a table array. Before brand anything is there, no need to select that. And similarly, you have to keep selecting like this. And when you find rate, you have to stop. Even if another 20 columns of data is there after rate column, you no need to bring it to the table area. So this is how you have to decide how to select your table array, and that should be the data flow has to be always left to right. Similarly, HLOOKUP says the data flow has to be always top to bottom. Then only it will help us. So this is how these three rules are very, very essential. Go through the same. Any difficulties in understanding, do let me know.
In the data format, when you select the data from left to right,
Mhm,
I'm just asking about the blank cells you have entered. Okay,
mhm,
for example, let's take as
mhm,
an argument that you have entered the
mhm,
blank cells. So
mhm.
even the blank cells needs to be counted, right? Like for
Yes,
example, if when we
yes.
put 2 and 0, we have to.
You have to count everything. Suppose say I have got some blank columns in between. I should start taking column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I should start counting like this. Even if I have hidden this, suppose I have hidden all these things, I cannot take or consider this should be column number 2, because the columns are there, it's a hidden only. Though it is there, it is hidden still. So still it has to be counted. So while selecting the range, you have to select like that. You have to also count the hidden columns as well. Hope it is clear.
Yes.
Right. All right then. So I believe we all are clear with our VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP application. Okay. Now we'll take our one level up. So go to the next sheet, naming called VLOOKUP with approximate match. So far, what we have learned about VLOOKUP, or whoever has taught VLOOKUP to us, we have only understood one thing, that VLOOKUP always ends up with 0, and 0 is nothing but the significance of exact match or one-to-one match. Now, there we have seen one more option called approximate match. What is the uses of that? Nobody has ever taught us, and we never tried to explore even. And even though you ask those guys, those who have taught you VLOOKUP for the first time, they are also not clear what is this uses of that, because they themselves have never tried to explore that. So this is a very beautiful concept, people, and we should know it. So let me take you through in a format of a data so that everybody can connect with it and how to use this. We look up with approximate match, we will get a clarity. Take a look on our data first. We have got some employee names and we have conducted one assessment. They have got their scores or ratings, you can say. And based on that, we need to give the grading. Okay. Now, grading purpose, my management has given me a circular stating that, Prabhas, if suppose somebody is scoring between 0 to 3, give grade E, 3.1 to 3.5, grade D. Like that, this is a predefined grading system declared by management. And only thing is, I need to follow that and I need to fill the grading column. Now, suppose say if this is the task, let's take a sample data. If I go for Abdus Salam Ismail, 3.5 he has scored. What should be the grade? You can check and tell me. For
D.
3.5, grade D. If it is a 3.9,
C.
if it is a 4.8
A.
and 5.0,
A plus.
A
A plus.
plus. Yeah.
So
Plus.
all this grading system, yeah, all this grading system we need. But how to get that? That is the question. Yes. So this kind of scenarios or situations are not new for us. We have been working so many times with this kind of scenarios. But how you handle this, I just would like to know. Give me your expert opinion.
I would have used some ifs.
Some ifs. Okay. If you go for some ifs, then how to use that? To help me.
Uh, some ifs with the sum range, like we have that grading system from
Mhm.
3.5, that column. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, then the criteria range, yeah, that
Mhm.
rating system. And we can enter one more argument here, right? That greater than, if if greater than
You you are already there in ifs only. Some ifs is nothing but if condition is already added.
no, in the nested ifs we can use multiple arguments in, right?
No, which formula you are expecting me to write? Some ifs.
Yeah, some ifs
Okay.
with ifs also, like in the ifs we
Okay.
can give an
I have
argument.
written. I have written some ifs as you asked. Some range. I have given this range. Then it is asking criteria range one. What
uh,
I'm supposed to give?
uh, the ratings in column C.
Column C ratings. Okay.
uh, then write if
If
uh, logical test, there is the codes, the grading systems like 0.3, we can hard code.
like this.
Yeah,
Okay.
great greater than that is E, hard code, inverted comma E.
Mhm.
I'm not sure will that work or not.
It will not work at all. The logic itself it is wrong. It will not work at all. All right. So in this case, what we do, if you ask 95% cases, people will be suggesting you writing multiple if statement in one cell. So if you are willing to write if condition statement, no doubt it will be giving you the answer. But how many conditions you have to write? Just imagine. Total six conditions, right? Now think about the length of the statement. Think about the length of the formula. And that formula you have to write for 10,000 times. Suppose 10,000 employees are there, you have to write for 10,000 times. Now think about the size of the file. Think about the data processing time of the file. Do you get it what I'm saying? Can you get the feel? Sometimes we keep taking a lot of time to open the file also. What is the reason? all these regions. We keep creating unwanted data, we keep creating many more formulas, and we keep creating many more if formulas in the place to make our logical things, and that makes our file size heavy. And this is what I told you day one also. And I have already shared one document with you, one Word document naming 8 ways to reduce your Excel file size, right? So now in this case, we are not going to use the lengthy if statement. So this is the place where we can use VLOOKUP with approximate match. Now, if this is so simple, when I am explaining that this is the situation you have to use VLOOKUP with approximate match, then why people are not using? Because you cannot use just like that. To apply VLOOKUP with your approximate match, there are two rules you need to follow. Rule number one, the data, whatever you have, it should contain a matrix. So what is the meaning by matrix? Just 2 minutes, watch my screen carefully, what I'm doing, observe, and then next 2 minutes, I'll be giving time to try with. So as I said, your data must contain a matrix. So what is the meaning by matrix? Just see. I'll go and create that matrix first. 0.1, 6 over here, then 4.1 and 4.6 and 5. Okay. Now, what is this matrix meaning first of all? Suppose say this column is not available. How you read your data? So if suppose somebody scores 0, I'll be giving grade E. If suppose somebody scores 3.1, I'll be awarding grade D. Now, what if somebody scores more than 0 but less than 3.1? What will be the grade? Somebody scores more than 0 but less than 3.1. What would be the grade?
E.
E only, right?
E only.
Right. So in this case, when the data falls in a range, we have to take the always lower limit, right? So this is nowhere written. Now, if I go for equal to VLOOKUP, taking the data, something like this, and if I go for this column and locking the cell even, if I go for column number 3, comma 0, now this is still giving NA. Even though I go for approximate match now over here, okay, what will be happening since I am taking the same data, it will not be applied because this matrix is very much important. And this matrix is giving a message that when the data is not having a one-to-one match, if it is falling in a range, then you should create this matrix. And that is what nothing but the story explained over here. If it is falling something in a range, if it is not in the lower limit or the maximum limit, if it is not in the lower unit or upper unit, if it is falling in a range, so this matrix is very, very essential. And that is what rule number one, we look up with the approximate match says. Now, rule number two, whatever the matrix you have created, it should be in a order, like you should have a ascending or descending order. So if you look at, do we have a order? Yes, we are in smallest to largest order. So rule number two is also satisfied. Now just take a look. I am creating is equal to VLOOKUP, taking the data. Now I'll be taking all these three columns. I will lock it. Now which column is containing the grade is the third column. Now what kind of match we have learned so far? 0. Now this is not giving the value because 3.5 nowhere it is matching exactly. Do you agree that? Miss people?
Yes.
3.5. If you look at, yeah, is there anywhere it is matching? Nowhere it is matching. That's why it is not giving the answer. But if I go and give it instead of 0, if I go and give it 1, so now what will be happening? It will approximately somewhere it will be matching in the range. Now, which range it is going to match? It is more than 3.1, but less than 3.6, right? So it will be giving a grade of D. Just see, you get it? So this 3.5, what we were looking for, it is appearing in this range. So which is more than 3.1, but less than 3.6. So it is there in this limit. So that's why it is taking this value. So this is called your approximate match. Now formula is ready only for a cell, need to apply for rest. See the beauty. So those things which were not working with exact match, but we can work out and get our data by VLOOKUP with approximate match. So you no need to have such a lengthy formula in Microsoft Excel by using if for multiple times. You can go for a simple VLOOKUP with approximate match. And this will be very, very helpful when your data falls in a range, like where it will be like your discount calculations or your incentive calculations or your data aging, your bucketing you are making. Suppose the outstanding is there 0 to 30 days, 31 to 60 days, 61 to 90 days, something like this kind of bucketing you want to do, or you do the income tax calculations of your own income, which bracket you are falling and how much tax you are liable to pay if you want to calculate. You can also take this kind of calculations over there. All right, so give it a try and check, is it working? So taking the live data, you have to keep practicing about all these formulas, and trust me, this is going to save a lot of time. So don't use the lengthy if formulas or statement for the same. So as I told you, there are two rules you need to always follow. One, the data must contain a matrix. Second, it should be sorted.
Uh, Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, if we have the range, more range, we have 0, so suppose 10. So we have
Uh-huh.
to add the matrix column manually.
Yeah, see, it is not a big deal. I mean, hardly how many variables you have to go for, maximum 10. You will not be going beyond that. You take any set of data, though it is of supply chain, marketing, HR, finance, any data you take, maximum 10 brackets you will be dealing so far, not more than that. So writing 10 times, it's not a big deal. We can spend that much of time to make our file size bit of lesser size, to make our data processing bit faster. That much time we can spend. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
And also, it's like while selecting the table range, like as you selected from F6 to H11, if we would select the table headings, it's giving NA.
Table headings. Okay.
Yeah.
So here you mean to say if I go for F5, you mean to say, correct? From this header also you are selecting, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now if I go for this and apply the same, it will never give, because see, data is not dealing with this below zero cases, will never be, because maximum the case will be zero. It will never be a negative case, correct? Rating will never be negative. So in this case, there is no chance of getting this column, this entire row, or this headers to be computed over here. So you can take it. That is what I told you in the VLOOKUP case also. You can start selecting from the brand header, or you can start selecting from Samsung. You can work out on that, not an issue.
Okay. And we can test the same thing with income tax slab, right? Like to write the
Yes,
slabs from 0.5.
yes, yes. You can write
Okay.
suppose 0 to 2.5 lakhs, 2 lakhs 51,000 to 7 lakhs 50,000 as per new regime or old regime, anything you're opting. So you need to have that slab, and there you take the only the initial values and then to apply your VLOOKUP with approximate match.
Uh,
Okay. And I mean, it's up to us, like how many columns we have to keep. I mean, there is no mandatory we have to write three columns only, then only the formula will apply, or it
No, no,
will
no. It is nothing to do with. See, VLOOKUP does it has a restriction that you should work with only 10 columns or 20 columns or 30 columns. So when VLOOKUP doesn't have that, we are using VLOOKUP formula only. So there is no such kind of limitations or restrictions that you should have only one, two, or three columns.
okay.
Right, right. Yes. Any other questions about VLOOKUP with approximate match? Fine then. So let us consider we are clear with our VLOOKUP with approximate match. Now we are going to take one level up again. So go to the sheet name called advanced lookup. So this is again the real-time situations, people. So let's stay focused. This is going to help you very, very well most of the time. So please stay focused. So let me put it in a scenario format. Suppose my boss asked me, Pravas, get me the entire employee related information. So I gave a respective T code in my SAP. I could download near about 10,000 records. It comes in this format, like employee ID, name, department, position they hold, salary they draw. Complete picture is there. Now, when I showed all this data of 10,000 records in this format, my boss is not quite happy watching the same. And immediately he asked me that, Prabhas, this data you keep it with you. Just design a template for me in such a way that whenever I go and type any of the employee ID, the corresponding details should be available on the immediate row. Like, take an example. Suppose he's expecting the details of ID 004. So in my master data, who is that person? ID 004, Mr. D should come over here. Okay. What's his department? Legal should come over here. What's his position? Manager should come over here. How much is the salary? 2000 should come over here. This is what he's expecting. Now, if that is the case, how to deal with the same? And this is again nothing new for us. We have come across so many times this kind of situations. So what we do in that case? You can give your expert opinion.
Only for myself. For myself.
Right. So here, if I want the answers, how will I get it?
Prabhas, hi, sorry, I'm a bit late. This
Mhm.
advanced lookup, it comes under corp case studies, right? That
Yes, yes.
I'm just trying to see that.
See, in the left side, you have got less than and greater than two symbols are there. You go there and right click on that. You'll be getting the list of Excel sheets, what we have, and you should choose advanced lookup
Yeah.
and click OK.
Database sorting multiple database within advanced lookup. Yeah, got it. Thank you. Advanced lookup. Yes, got it.
Right. All right. So in this case, what would be our steps, or what would be our solutions? What we do exactly if you ask a question? Suppose I make the question more precise. If I have employee name alone to find out, employee ID is there, name alone to find out, that would have been more easy for you. You would have gone for VLOOKUP, taking this lookup value and considering these are our table array. And how many columns are there? Two columns, column index number 2, comma 0. You could have got your name. Now, similarly, if you want the department, again, you'll go for VLOOKUP and taking the data. Then over here, column index number, you will be taking table array and column index number will be 3. Similarly, for position 4, salary 5, you will be keep changing the column index number for each and every case. So technically, if you look at here, 4 different times we have to apply VLOOKUP formula. Do you all agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So
Yes.
this is what more painful, because now we have only 3 to 4 columns of data to find out. We can apply, we look up 4 different times, we don't have an issue. But think about your real-time data. When you download something from SAP or ERP, suppose you are looking at a employee details, you have only the employee code. You are looking for employee name, date of joining, date of birth, what's his mobile number, email ID, how many children the person has, and what is his address. So like that, the entire details, if you are looking at, there might be 20 to 30 columns of data you have to pick it up. Then imagine, so 20 to 30 times we look up formula writing. Is it be an easy job? Never. So in this situation, how to deal with? So what I'm going to tell you now, it will be very, very helpful for when you are designing the dashboards, summary report, tabular reports, you have to use this kind of formulas. So what should be the answer? Just see. First of all, take a look how many columns of data we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I consider my VLOOKUP formula and I am looking for name, department, position, salary, what should be the number? So I am looking for name. Name is in second column of the data. Department, third column. Position, fourth. Salary, fifth. So this is supposed to be my column index number. Just imagine, don't do anything, or we don't create all these things. This is for the understanding I'm creating. This is nothing to do with our formula. Don't worry. Okay. So first of all, check. Is it the numbers I'm expecting if I'm going for VLOOKUP formula? What's it?
Right.
Now, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it a sequence? Is it a chronological order, or is it a series? 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it having a order or chronological series?
Chronological series. Yes. Yes.
So when the data is in a series, how to apply our VLOOKUP? Let's have a beautiful understanding. So as I told you, first we'll select the entire array where we need the solution. Start working with me. Then leave your mouse, leave your touchpad and go for equal to VLOOKUP. Now read the formula. What it demands me. Lookup value. I told you what is the meaning by lookup value. What we have with us to search. We have got employee ID in A11 cell to search. Now, how to write your formula efficiently, I told you in day 1 and day 2 as well. The moment you have taken this our employee ID, when you copy this formula towards right, A11 should not go to B11. I repeat, stay focused. When I copy this formula towards right, A11 should not go to B11. Do you agree?
Right.
Yes.
But when I copy this formula towards down, if I'm looking for multiple employee IDs, if I copy this formula towards down, A11 should go to A12. Do you agree?
Yes.
So A11 should go to A12, but A11 should not go to B11. Means A should not be changed to B, but 12 should change to 13, 11 should change to 12, something like this. So which one we should lock and which one we should keep it free?
A, B should lock.
Right. What is that?
F4 three time.
Right. So that is called column lock. So you should go for hitting F4 key 3 times so that the dollar symbol will be appearing before column, making as column lock. And when you copy the data towards right, dollar $A11 will never be dollar $B11 since column is locked. But when you copy the formula towards down, dollar $A11 should definitely be dollar $A12 since row is free, so row can be changing. So this setup we have to give it, comma. Now, what it is asking, table array. What is the data? As I told you, always start with the common one, and we need the name, department, position, salary. We have to select everything because we need everything. Now this range should not move down or move right. No movement. What I should do? F4 once. So that $2 symbols will be applied. One before column making column lock, one before row making row lock. So ultimately the range will be locked. And this is what we have learned in our day one and day two as well, right? Now, comma, what's the next one? Column index number. So here we need to focus. Just see. We need 2, 3, 4, 5, but we can't give it together. Yes, we can't give it together. So how to get that? Over here, if you remember in day one, we discussed something. There is a formula called row just to define the row number. Similarly, there is a formula in Excel naming called column. So column formula, what it will do, it will give me the column number as the answer. Now, which column I'm trying to type the formula? I am trying to type the formula in column B. So B is a alphabet, but technically if you count, what would be the number? B is a alphabet, but if you start counting A as 1, B, what will be the number? Definitely 2. So column
Two.
formula will be giving me a column number as the answer, and that will become my column index number for VLOOKUP formula. And the moment we started the discussion manually, I told you for name purpose, we need the column index number as 2. So my column formula is giving me the column number as the answer. Now, comma, when I copy this formula towards right, my column will be changing. Name to department. Department is in which column? Column C. Column C means what will be the count? 3. And is it the same number we're expecting is getting? Yes. So this is how the column formula, what it does, we are clear. But we have to end up with our VLOOKUP formula. And I told you VLOOKUP how it ends up with exact match. And what's the significance? Just simply typing 0. You can complete this, bracket close. Formula is ready only for a cell, but we need to apply for rest. We know what is the shortcut, control, enter, and we got the data one shot. So this is how, even though you have got 20, 30, 50 columns, even you don't need to worry about your formula will be giving your answer as long as data is in the same series. So give it a try and check VLOOKUP with column combination. Is it working? Well, Mantu, that you should have asked me there. If the master data is in a different sheet, suppose say this is one sheet of master data. Now I am working with another sheet. Suppose the data validation here, I'm looking for another sheets. And I'm looking for some more brands, some records. Suppose say if I go for something over here, naming called Samsung, Acer, then HP. Okay. Now, if I'm looking for the rates of those brands, then how to get it? So master data is there in the lookup sheet, and I am working with over here. Then what you can do, you can select everything like this is equal to VLOOKUP, taking the data from here, lookup value, going to the next sheet, then selecting your table array, and you should not go back. You can see the formula bar formula is displayed. So you have to continue from this. So you can go for over here, locking the same. Yeah. And then what is the column index number? There were two columns. You can see C and D, and I am working with column number 2. My answer is there. Now bracket close over here by simply putting 0 for exact match. Formula is ready. Only with one cell. Need to apply for rest. Control enter. So you got your records over here. So this is how between two different Excel sheets also you can apply VLOOKUP. It is not a challenging one.
Do we have any alternative to this? Like we look up, we just wrote
Mm-hmm. No, alternate for which formula you're talking about?
the advanced VLOOKUP just.
Mm-hmm. Alternate, see, you can go for simply like this, but that will be quite confusing for you. What you can do, see, you can go for this kind of formula also, equal to VLOOKUP, taking the lookup value, making the column lock over there, okay, comma, table array, you can select completely like this, not a problem. Then what you are expecting, 2, 3, 4, 5. So within curly braces, you can write 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5. You can write something like this. Look at my formula bar. And then curly braces again close. Then comma 0. Then you can go for over here, control enter. It will be giving you this kind of answer called spill because we're in Office 365. But other cases, if you're working, then the moment I go for control shift and enter, this is called array formula. So you can see in the initial level, one curly braces before equal to, and after formula, you can see one close curly brace is also there. So this is what alternate option, but that will be very complicated for you at this stage. That's why I did not explain it. But there is a concept called array concept. You need to understand. For that, the formula always ends up with control shift and enter. So I'll
Okay.
take this formula. You can go for it. But it has to be always end up with control shift and enter. This is called array concept. So scenario one, is it working for all? Any difficulties?
Yeah, no, the first one is actually better. The first one is better, but the thing is, we have to remember which column where we have to apply the column lock and the cell lock, row lock. We
That
have to
that
remember that.
that you have to practice at day two itself. I told you. If you want to save your time, locking references from the date div formula itself, I told you. Always write the formula for the entire table. Don't go to each and every column, edit the formula, each and every row, edit the formula. This is what we have already discussed in day two. All right. So scenario one, whatever we did, I believe it's clear for everyone. Right. So let us go for considering the same situation for one more time and let's discuss something. So stay focused. Now suppose say I have gone to my template, okay? And template, we cannot keep a sample data, something like this, and send it across to people. Template should remain blank, right? Now, if I go to my employee ID and if I delete only that cell, employee ID alone, now what happens? My formula is giving this kind of errors, hash NA. And why this error is appearing? Because of data absence. But I can't retain these errors in this format and send it across to the people. People will definitely, by opening the formula itself, they will be asking question, why I have not done anything, this is showing errors. So that is really bit annoying and we are not supposed to send our template having the errors in this format. Then how to handle these errors? Just watch my screen for 2 minutes, try to understand the concept. So whenever you believe in a template or master data or a sample report or anything you are designing or dashboard summary report. So if your formula is giving some kind of errors like this, how to handle it? So basically to handle the formula driven errors before VLOOKUP after equal to, we should write one more formula naming called if error. Just watch my formula bar, if error. Now how it works, I'll tell you. So though if you're in the beginning people, first Excel will process VLOOKUP formula. This is our first process step. Though if it is there in the beginning, but if at all VLOOKUP formula returns some error like hash NA, in step 2, our if error will be applied. This is how the formula sequence works. And now since we have already declared that if error to be applied, then over here instead of just defining anything XYZ, if I am replacing the errors with something else, then I have to keep my cursor at the end of VLOOKUP formula, comma, what it is asking, what you are expecting in place of those errors, zero, hyphen, nil, not available, not applicable, anything, whatever we are expecting, we should write the same, no issues. But we are working in a template, so template has to be remain blank and blank purpose. We should write only two double inverted quotes, that too without space. Now, if error needs to be closed, bracket close, formula is ready only for a cell, need to apply for rest. Shortcut, control, enter, and our data is ready. So as long as there is no data over here, my formula is also remaining silent. Now tomorrow when I copy any of the employee ID from the top and when I paste it, is it giving me the answer? Yes. So this is how people, whenever you are designing the templates and the formula, whatever you are expressing, if error is the formula can be combined with any formula to handle the formula driven errors. Check it out. Is it working? So if you have any questions, you can ask me. No problem. If nothing is working also, you can take my help. One time practice you do in the training, then later you can try the same in your working place so that you will not be facing any challenges.
And we use this if error formula to handle the errors.
Errors. Yes.
Work for me.
Okay. How about others? Could you please confirm so that we can proceed?
Prabhas, how do I get that flower brackets? Because I was doing that earlier thing earlier.
Don't do that. That is more complex since Sudhanshu was asking what is the alternative ways. I was explaining. Don't do that.
Okay.
This is the better method. We look up with simple column combinations. Go for it. It will be making your job easy.
Okay, but basically, when do we use VLOOKUP, Prabhas? I mean, I missed the previous because I mean I attended late, right? So
You can follow the recordings, but just to say in brief, to search your data. When you have
okay,
certain records, you need to search in your master data. Like you are looking for a drop of water in the ocean. It will be very difficult. So that's why you have to use the VLOOKUP formula to
okay,
search the data in the master data set, and it will be
mhm,
giving you the exact details. So there you have to
okay,
use VLOOKUP formula.
okay. So
Yeah.
basically, if we use this if error method, that would be more feasible, right? That's what you said.
No, no, no. It's not like that. If at all VLOOKUP returns the errors by giving
Okay,
this kind of hash NA, that will be really annoying. People ask a lot of questions. So those things you can handle it by replacing with your own text, like not available, not applicable, NA, hyphen,
yeah,
dash, zero. So that it will be an idle option and people will not ask you further questions and you can handle those errors. So without impairing your formula, without going for a copy, paste special value and making as a find and replace, you can better handle it in this way. There was other method, if you remember, we discussed to handle the errors in our data clean 1, day 2. I spoke about this. Do you remember? We had got a lot of errors like hash NA, reference,
yeah, yeah.
division, all these things we discussed how to handle it. Those are the text-driven errors. But now we are working with formula-driven errors. So there are two different setup how to handle the errors we have discussed,
Okay, yeah.
right? All right. So, Lekin, I'm taking to the same situation. Just watch my screen for a minute. See, I deleted my employee ID. I kept my formula as it is. Now this is showing the blanks, no issues. I gave the file to my boss over email. My boss, what he did, he just typed in employee ID to check the records, ID 004 like this, and he hit enter. But this is not working. He got panic and immediately he asked me over phone, Prabhas, what kind of template you have designed and given it's not working? I have no idea where the thing has gone wrong. I have checked twice before sending the file to him and it was working fine in my state. So now, unless and until I go to his cabin, look at his laptop, I have no idea what is the thing where the mistake happened. But when I did it, I came to know he has done a silly mistake. What is that? He did not type the data properly, right? So that's why my formula is not working. So I will definitely ask him, sir, you have done a mistake. You did not type the data properly. If I can say that's well and good, But if I say you have done a mistake, sometimes it might hurt my boss ego also. That is one aspect we are definitely need to care for. And second thing is the moment I'm leaving my work, what I was supposed to do, I was in the half of the work. I have to leave that. I have to come to his cabin and explain all this unwanted stuffs. Whose premium time is being wasted? Of course, it's mine. But my time is not my time, it's my organization's time, right? So at the end of the day, who is responsible for all these things? Can I blame to my boss, sir, you are not typing the data properly and it has wasted my time? No way. So definitely it is our mistake. How? Who has committed? Who has given that opportunity to commit that mistake? We have given because we have allowed our boss to type our data. That's why there is a chance of committing mistakes very high. So what you have understood from the entire story that whenever you are designing your template, people do not leave a chance for the people to type the data. Always give a privilege to select the data by creating a drop down. So now the question is how to create a drop down list in a A11 cell so that my boss will have only one option to choose the drop down, and whichever the employee he wants to select, he can select, and the corresponding data will be populated automatically. Let's see. Keep your cursor in A11 cell and go to data menu. You have an option called data validation. Okay. So data validation you'll be finding, and that is the only objective, just to create a drop-down list for some kind of validation rules you want to put it across in the template. You can always follow that. Now, if you go and click it, it will take you to a dialog box. You can notice it is asking me saying validation criteria allow a drop-down is showing any value. I don't want any value to be entered. I have some specific values, and for that, I need to click the drop down. There's an option called list. There's an option called list. Go for the list. And the moment you go for the list option, you can see the source box will be on. And in this source box, you have to type what is the data you are going to create for a list. For that is nothing but employee ID A3 to A7. So I can select the entire thing by keeping the cursor in the source box. And my list will be automatically ready when I go and click the OK button. And immediately you will be finding a drop down list is on. So when I click, is it showing all the list of employee codes? Yes. Now, whichever my boss is looking at, he can simply select and the entire details are ready over here. So this is how, whenever there's a need, you can create a drop down. You can connect your formula to the drop down, and that will be making your things more dynamic. And that's called data validation. And where it is available in the data, this is what the data validation. Check it out, confirm all these things are working. Yeah. So this will be very, very helpful. Again, when you're designing the templates, that's very much essential. So you have understood how to combine our VLOOKUP with column, VLOOKUP column with if header, and those formulas, how to connect to a drop down, we got the understanding. So if at all anybody is having trouble, not getting the answer, not clear, need my support on the screen, do let me know.
Don't we have any option to write any kind of formula that will search our data with or without the hyphen option?
Without or with hyphen option. See,
Like,
there is a,
mhm.
tell me.
No, no, go on. You understood the question.
See, it again, there is an option we have, but the thing is, how will you know that if you do not have the data consistency? How will you know that? Now here, hyphen is there, that is must. Now without hyphen, we can't say it. Now if I go for this data over here, now if I go for my VLOOKUP formula, then I have to take certain characters, and anything before those characters, anything after those characters, you can take it up. Like take an example. Suppose over here, I'm taking another formula over here. Same thing I'm applying, Control D. Okay. Now, if I go for ID 004, I'm not getting the details, correct? Now, how to make this formula that even though there is no hyphen, but at least these three characters is there or ID is there, it should bring it. Now, for that, what I need to do over here, I can simply open my formula. Now, we look up whatever the data is there. Okay. Those data, anything before or after it is there, I should take it. But the problem is there is an ID1 text is over here. I cannot take it right immediately. So I have to take only last three characters. That should be there. Last three characters. Yes. So what I can do, I can go for my left formula over here. And left formula, what it will do, it will first, you can look at my formula bar. It will take only those three characters out of this. Now, is it picking those data, what I'm expecting? Let's discuss. So when I look at it is taking ID 0. It is taking. If I go for left, similarly, I can go for right formula. So if I go for right formula, now it is picking right side three characters. Just check it out. Yes, 004 it is taking. Now, whatever before and after is there, it is immaterial for me, but it should pick the value. For that, what I need to do, I have to use the asterisk symbol. So asterisk is a wild character, and to define that, we must write within two double inverted quotes. Then we need to use ampersand over here. So anything before there, like hyphen is there, ID is there, XYZ is there, anything is there, still it should pick the value. Now see the result. If I go for it, is it picking me? Even though there is no hyphen, I got the result. So this is called your wild card concept. You can apply it. If you are not clear whether the data is not having one-to-one match, if you have something as a prefix or suffix also, you can apply this. So I'm copying and pasting it. And in Excel, you will be finding this kind of data the most, Sudhanshu. This will be very informative for you.
Yes, right. Because the data currently we are receiving in our organization, I mean, there is lot of suffix and prefix are there, and
Idiot. Right, absolutely. So this concept, you have to add it. Now, you are not sure whether in prefix you have many more data or your suffix. So you have to change only the asterisk position before or after. You have to decide. But that you have to combine with ampersand symbol, and the asterisk symbol you have to write within two double inverted quotes.
okay.
Yeah. Fine. So scenario one, we are clear. Okay. Now we'll go for our scenario two. Take a look, same master data we have. Now,
Sorry to interrupt.
okay.
Did you
Mhm.
paste this one to the chat?
Already there.
Uh,
Let me check.
I can't see. Okay.
Okay. Okay, I'm pasting again. Now did you get that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Now, let's go to our scenario true. Try to understand. This is the same data we have, okay, master data. And now we are looking for ID 003, the details. Now, if you look at our data also, we are looking for in the same fashion, same manner. Here also name, department, position, salary is there. Here also name, department, position, salary is there. I told you when your data is in the same series, what we should do? We should go for equal to VLOOKUP and taking the data, making a column lock, comma, table array, the complete data. It should not move down or move right. We should lock it, comma, we need to go for column function because the data is in the same series, right? And this is what we learned in the previous case also. Now, comma, the moment you go for this, then we need to go for closing that with the exact match. Formula is ready only for one cell. Need to apply for rest. We know what is the shortcut, control enter. And our problem starts. Why? The answer is there in the error itself. If you remember in the previous case, the error we got as hash NA, and that was because of data absence. Now we got one more error called hash reference. It is nothing but the data is there, answer is there, but it's unable to refer to the desired column. So what is the meaning by unable to refer to the desired column? So see, if I've taken my column formula, I told you column formula what it does. It gives me the column number as the answer. Now which column I am trying to type the formula? In column H. What is the number of H? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So column formula is returning the answer as 8, right? But in my master data, name is in which column? Name is in column B. So B is alphabet, but counting, if you do, number 2. So column formula is giving me 8, but I am expecting 2. Basic mathematics, what we can do? Minus 6. So automatically my column will change to column number 2. And when I copy this formula towards right, then column will become 8 in place of 9. 9 minus 6 already there, 3. So this is how slightly we need to adjust the column if you are applying the VLOOKUP formula between two different Excel sheets or two different Excel files. Though the data is in the same sequence, but you have to slightly adjust the column number. So this is what again a beautiful concept again. Just try this and check is this working. Anything is not clear, do let me know.
Could you please explain one more time this minus 6?
Yeah, see now why we are doing this. In my master data, name is in which column?
Column B, that is on 2.
2. So here we are looking for name. So our column index number has to be 2, correct?
Yes,
But if I go for this column, which column I'm in right now?
column H,
H, what is the number?
A, B, C, D, 8.
8. So if I might go for column formula equal to column, just see, is it giving me column number as column 8, right?
Yes,
But what I'm looking for,
uh, number 2.
right? So we need to go for minus 6. And when I go for the others, and automatically it becomes 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
And that's what we did because our data is appearing in the master data, second, third, fourth, fifth column. And we need to bring second, third, fourth, fifth, but column formula is giving me 8, 9, 10, 11. That's why I have just deducted by 6.
So I can write this formula in case I have to match my data. So for example, if I have some data in column A, B, C, D, E, and in the column F, I need to I'm writing a match formula. Okay, and my formula is like if my data is matching with column if A, B, C, D, E is matching with G, H, I, J, K, then it should be match or not match in column F. So, uh, so when counting the columns, I need to give, I mean, writing this -6 or -2h for the references, right?
No, 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 no. Why this question? We are not dealing with that at all? See, try to understand what I'm saying over here. Suppose say here I have the data, something I'm looking at. This is the master data of mine. Okay. Now, what I'm doing over here, I'm just looking for the same data over here. I'm deleting one. Okay. Now take a look. Suppose say I am looking for, if I go and choose any of the ID, say suppose say I will go for ID 005. Okay. But this is not that taking. Fine. Now suppose say I'm looking for ID 005. Okay. If I go for VLOOKUP is equal to VLOOKUP, taking this data, table array, I'll go back to this and table array, I'll be taking like this, no doubt. My formula is asking for column formula. Now, when I go for column formula, why I'm going for column formula? Because I am also looking for the data in the same sequence, name, department, position, salary. Here also the data is in the same sequence, name, department, position, salary, right? The reason of taking the column formula, if the data is in the same sequence, in same series, the column formula, why we are taking, that is what we understood here, right?
Okay.
Now, so here when I go for column formula, comma 0, what is happening? It is not giving proper answer for this name. It is giving me 500. Why it is picking 500? Because in column E, whatever the data over here, it is picking that only. Correct? Because here also column E is 500. That is, we are not going to deal with column E. But yes, in my master data, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total 5 columns are there. And fifth column, whatever the data is there, that is picking up. Because here also data is I'm picking up the same sequence. So my column,
Yeah,
my master
right.
data, E column data only there in 500. That's why it is picking 500 from here to here. So since my location is changing, here my data starts from column A, but here my data is starting from column D. So location is changing. Can you see that? Right?
Yes.
So this is the reason why we need to go for making it bit of proper column option. Like see, now I am writing my formula in column E. E is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But name, if you look at name is in column number 2 in my master data, column number 2. So what I need to do? Minus
-3.
3 and control enter.
Okay.
We'll be getting the data. So now here I'm not getting. Let me see what I have done because D5 I have not logged it. So I need to do a column log. So when I go for my formula, I should do D5 column log. And now control enter. So when the location is changing, you are typing formula in two different sheets or two different Excel files. You have to slightly adjust the column index number like this. So this is the reason why we are just changing the column answer over here.
Okay.
Hope it is
Yeah.
clear. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Fine. So scenario two, Shifa and Hita, is it clear? Okay, Hita. Okay, Mantu.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhas, it's clear.
Yes, sir, clear, sir.
Okay, great. So taking the live data, you have to practice. Logic remains the same. Only thing is you need to understand which column you are operating. And column formula, it always gives a column number as the answer. And dollar symbol, depending upon the movement of the cell, you have to make it constant. Either entire range constant or cell constant or entire row only you have to be logged or entire column to be logged. So it is up to you. You have to decide depending upon the movement of the cells. All right. Now, having said this, let's go for our scenario 3. Now here, take a look. We have got our employee ID 005, and based on that, we are looking for the details from our master data. First is the department, then the salary, then the name, and then the position. So this is how it is there. We are no more looking for the name first. Now the column is changing, column order is also changing. And this is also one type of scenario we most of the time get. We'll be receiving our data in 80 to 90 columns, but we'll be looking at only some specific columns out of that entire 80 columns of data. If that is the case, then how to deal with? First of all, if this kind of scenario is there, you need to first understand. In my master data, how many columns are there? Total 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if I'm looking for VLOOKUP, department, which column it is there?
3.
3. So
3.
my column index number would be 3. Salary, which column? Should be 5. Name,
Name is
second,
2.
and
Position
position
is
4.
2.
Right. So this is how we have understood if I am looking for my column index number, it should be the number. So first of all, 3524, is it a series? Is it a chronological order?
No.
So VLOOKUP with column is ruled out because VLOOKUP with column will work only if your data is in the same sequence. So here there is no sequence, no series. That's why VLOOKUP with column cannot be applied. Option 2. Can we do the cut paste work? Can we cut department and put it in the name place? Or can we cut the salary, put it in the position place and bringing it to a proper series form, then apply VLOOKUP with column function? Yes, that can be done. But do you believe that it's a great idea to do the copy paste work or cut paste work and adjust the column? Maybe 3, 4 columns are there. I could adjust according to my convenience. But when you are working with your real-time data, out of 80 columns, suppose 35 columns you need to adjust something like this. Think about the scenario. While doing the cut paste work, somewhere you will be lost. Definitely. So committing a mistake chances are very high. So this is also not an ideal option. Now, option 3. Do you believe that VLOOKUP has the power to get the column index number in this format automatically? If that is the case, then why we were struggling in the previous case? Because VLOOKUP doesn't change the column index number automatically. It always takes a static column number. So that's why option 3 is also rolled out. Our VLOOKUP alone is not going to help us over here. So what is that choice we have? We have nothing. So technically, we have to add some more power to our VLOOKUP formula. So what is this power about? Let's first go and discuss and learn. See, leaving some 4 to 5 rows down, please type a text over here, naming called Jan. Do it along with me. And just drag it down till December. All right.
Okay.
Now just 2 minutes, watch my screen, observe what I'm doing, try to understand the concept. In this highlighted block, if I ask you how many variables I have, you will say immediately 12 because Jan to December, it's a count of 12 only. So if I ask you out of these 12 cells, what is the position of May? You will start counting Jan as 1, Feb as 2, like that. The moment you reach to May, it will be giving you answer 5. So this is how manually we can compute and give the answer that May is in the 5th position. Same thing if I ask Excel to do the job for me. So what Excel will do, just try to understand. Don't need to do anything. I'll be giving time to try. Just watch my screen. Now suppose say I am asking Excel to find out the position of May. What it will do? It will take a formula help naming called match. Now match formula, what it does, it asks for lookup value. VLOOKUP also asks for lookup value. HLOOKUP also asks for lookup value. Now, what is the meaning by lookup value? Is nothing but what I have with me. Yes, May month. Now, what it asks me, lookup array. What VLOOKUP was asking? Anybody?
Uh, where is our data lookup array?
No, 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 no. The formula instruction, what I have kept my pointer. Match formula is asking lookup array. What VLOOKUP was asking in the second input.
Second input. Table array.
Table array.
Yeah,
HLOOKUP.
right.
Yeah, right.
HLOOKUP. What HLOOKUP was asking? That's also table array. Yes or no? So VLOOKUP asks for table array.
Lookup ask for table array. Yes, table array.
HLOOKUP also asks for table array.
HLOOKUP also ask for table array.
But
Yes.
match asks for lookup
Match.
array. So there is a difference. Remember one thing, in Excel, any formula, if they ask array or table array, it is nothing but the combination of rows and columns. It is nothing but combination of rows and columns. If they ask for table array or array. If the formula asks for lookup array, it can be a complete column or a complete row. It cannot be both. But in our case, our data where we have to search in a complete column. So this is what the difference between array, table array, and lookup array. So people commits mistake over here. Now, comma, what kind of match VLOOKUP ends up with 0, HLOOKUP ends up with 0, and 0 stands for exact match. So match also ends up with 0. So this is going to give me the same result what we have found out manually. Now what it does, match formula, it takes the cell value as an input and finds out the cell location or cell position as the answer. Now just take a look. If I go and change May to over here, September, what will be my answer? 9. If I go back and change it to December, it will be 12. If I go back over here and change to Feb, it becomes 2. If I go for May, it will be giving me 5. So this is called basically people match formula. Take a look, try this and check your match formula is working. Any doubt, queries about match, do let me know.
Okay.
All right. So can I consider that everybody is clear with this, whatever we did, people? This match formula? Fine. Now, just for the time being, understand one simple concept. No need to remember too much of things. See, match formula gives the answer always a number. Okay. And here in the previous case scenario one, column formula also gives the answer a number only. Where to use column formula when the data is in sequence? Where to use match formula when the data is not in sequence? Can we take it? Hope it is clear. The two lines what I told you. When the data is in sequence, you can use column with VLOOKUP. When the data is not in sequence, we can take VLOOKUP with match. Okay. Now taking this, just try to apply the formula. So let's go and start. Select your entire array, whatever we have over here. Okay. Equal to VLOOKUP. It asks me the lookup value. Lookup value is this. And I told you always make your formula efficient enough to handle any kind of situation. So we need to make column log. So when the data is moving down, it will move. But when a data is moving right, it will not move. So now, comma, table array. Where is the master data? So master data is completely over here. I should take it and I should lock it. Yes. F4 once. Now, comma, it is asking me column index number. So column index number, I'm expecting 3, 5, 2, 4. This is not in series, so I cannot use column formula over here. So since it is not in series, we learned a formula naming called match. Now forget there is a VLOOKUP formula. Give your entire focus to match formula over here. Then what it demands me, lookup value. Now think about it and tell me what would be our lookup value. So ideally here, our lookup value, if you are looking at definitely our employee ID, right? But this employee ID is already given to our VLOOKUP formula. So technically we have nothing to give as a lookup value, but we have something. What is that? Taking the department header as a lookup value, can I search in the lookup array in the master data first row item? Because I told you lookup array can be a complete column or complete row. Since our headers are arranged in a particular row, I will be taking as lookup array is this. Now this data should not move down or move right. So I should lock it. So once I should lock it over here, comma, now, what kind of match always follow? We go for 0. Now, this match formula is going to give me a number. So let's see what number is going to give us. So when I've taken department header and I am searching in this first row item, how many cells are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So department in which position? Third. So match formula will return me the answer as a 3. Yes, we are getting. And is it the same number we have discussed earlier that we are looking for 3 only? So my match formula is giving me a number and that number becomes my column index number for VLOOKUP formula. Now, since we are writing match formula inside VLOOKUP, VLOOKUP also needs to be closed. How? By putting 0 at the end. What is the significance of 0? Just making as one-to-one match or exact match. Now bracket close for VLOOKUP. Formula is ready only for a cell. Need to apply for rest. So we can go for control enter. And when we go for this, we are not getting the answer. What's the problem? VLOOKUP properly logged, column log, table array is also logged, match is also properly defined, lookup array is logged. We have completed the formula with 0 also, but still it is not working. So sometimes you may come across this kind of situations. Now, in this case, how to handle this? So don't waste your time. Just go back to your source data and check once. Is it having any trouble over here in my data? Let's see. Now, if you look at our data over here, what it seems there are how many characters? One, two, three, four, five, six. But technically, if I go and check, it is giving me seven characters. It means there is a unwanted character over here. Maybe a space or may not be a space. We can't be so judgmental or predictive on that. So there is a unwanted data, unwanted character. But how to remove it? If at all there is a space, how to remove it? So we can go for a formula naming called trim, and what it does, it removes the unwanted spaces from the data. Now when I go and check how many characters are there, it will be giving me exactly six characters. So this is how two formulas we learned. Len formula calculates the length of the cell characters. Trim formula always removes the unwanted spaces from the data. Now the question is, do I need to first do a data cleaning by removing the spaces, then I should go for application of formula? No. Since we have already applied the formula over here, we don't need to go for a duplication of job like this. What we are going to do, we are going to make our formula efficient enough in such a way, it will first clean the data, and that cleaned value will become the lookup value, and match is automatically giving the result. But how to do that? Just see. I will select my entire formula and I'll go for opening the same. Out of this entire formula, which element is giving a problem? Which element was showing some unwanted data, like this $G11? So that alone, we should keep it in trim. So trim open and after 11 close bracket. So automatically Excel will first the trim formula. It will clean the data. Then it will be used as a lookup value for VLOOKUP. Match is already working that we know. Formula is rectified only with one cell. But we need to apply for rest. Control, enter. Now see the beauty. Without cleaning the data also, we could get our answer over here. And that's what the beauty of our VLOOKUP with match. This is a very powerful formula, people. Most of the time, whenever you are searching something vertical and horizontal as well, you can go for this kind of formula called VLOOKUP with match, and this is going to give you the result. So give it a try and check, is it working? Any doubt, any queries, feel free to ask. Don't skip it. So this is one of the most important formula for designing the templates, dashboards, summary reports. Hope it is working. In doubt, any queries? When anybody needs my support?
In this case, work for me.
Okay. Fine. So with this, we'll go for a short break. Okay. So you can have a brisk and come back soon. So now in my system, it is 356.410. Again, we'll be catching up and we'll discuss the rest. All right, so I believe it is back. Okay, Sudhanshu, Shifa, okay, Hita, and Mantu, could you please confirm? Fine. So let us go for over here. We have understood that this kind of scenarios when we have, like when you have the multiple columns value to be picked up, how to use this VLOOKUP with column and VLOOKUP column with if error, and how to connect with the same with a drop down. And if the situation changes or the series though it is there, but when you apply two different Excel file or two different Excel sheet VLOOKUP, you have to slightly adjust the column index number. And when your data is not in sequence and you want to depend upon the column headers to pick up the data, you should use VLOOKUP with match. But match formula, what it does, it can search your data vertically and horizontally as well. But when you are combining with VLOOKUP, when you are looking for something vertical and something for horizontal, you can use match formula also. So all these things we have understood. Now we'll go to our next sheet, naming called nested if. So we're going to use the logical formulas of Excel the most, and where and how to use it, we are going to discuss that. So in day one, we have seen a glimpse of that, but now we're going to discuss in depth of our formulas and functions. So here, kindly take a look. We have got a score of 51. Okay, we need to check if the person scores more than 50, results should be pass, else fail. And the same, if you need to check it out, we have to write a simple formula naming called if. It asks me logical test. So I need to depend upon a cell where my value is there. And what kind of test? Is it greater than 50? So I need to write the greater than symbol, comma. That becomes my logical test. Then it demands me value if true. Because when you do a test, there might be a success, there might be a failure. We never know. So if at all there is a success, it means the value if true means it is more than 50 suppose, then result should be pass. So pass is our text we must write within two double inverted quotes, that is mandatory, comma. Then it asks me value if true. So if the person is not pass, ultimate result what it would be? Fail. So within two double inverted quotes we write fail because this is again our own text. So this is how we should write our formula and that becomes your simple logical formula of Excel. Now, if I go and change the score, something less than 50, so 35 is fail. If I go and define the formula, I mean the input result, suppose more than 50, so 65, it shows me pass. What if I define 50? This shows me result of pass or fail. It shows pass. What it shows? Fail. How? Because here, the condition what we have given is only greater than 50. So if I tell somebody scores exactly 50 and you are expecting the answer to supposed to be passed, then you have to be very precise in designing the calculation greater than equal to. So when it scores 50 or greater than 50, result should be passed. So this is how to use these operators or arithmetical operators or mathematical operators to make our condition more precise. We got the basic understanding. So give it a try and check your if formula is working. Any doubt, any queries, do let me know. Hope this if formula is clear, working fine.
Yes.
Right. So simple logical formula, how to write it, we have got the understanding. So let's go and explore where else we can use this kind of if formulas. Just see. We have got suppose say two new joinees in our department A and B. Now suppose say my boss asked me, Pravas, why don't you conduct a test for those two guys? Let us see what I mean how and what is the performance of them. So when I conducted the test, A has scored 50, B has scored 90. Okay. Now here, my boss is immediately passing a statement that score of A is greater than score of B. I repeat, boss has passed a statement score of A is greater than score of B. So 50, is it greater than score 90? No. So I can tell him in front of his face immediately, sir, whatever the statement you are passing, it's a wrong statement or it's a false statement. But I don't want to take that risk. I don't want to declare that. I want Excel to check the result and it should state whether the statement status is true or false. In that case, what we can do, again, we can go for a simple if formula, taking the score of A greater than score of B. This becomes our logical test. And then we should go for comma. Value if true means if the statement is true, it should be giving the output as true as the statement status. And if the statement is not true, what is the ultimate answer? False. So within two double inverted quotes, we should write false over here. And the moment you go for this, result is false. So this is how, again, a simple if formula, how it works. We got the basic understanding. Okay. This is what our 95% user, when you just see, they will be giving you the answer like this. But I don't recommend this. Reason? I told you in day one also, the more the if formula in any Excel file, the file size will be heavy. So in this case, to check the same condition, we no need to go for this lengthy if formula. See how the formula will work, a crisp formula. Score of A equal to greater than score of B. Same false answer. So now you tell me, which option is better, option 1 or option 2? Definitely. So this is how, wherever it is possible, people try to keep your formula length minimum so that the file size will not be heavy and your data processing also will be faster. So far, whatever we did, is it clear? Kindly confirm.
Yes.
Right. Now, let us go for our question number 3. Suppose say we have got a score and we need to check if the person scores less than 25, result should be fail. If he scores more than 25 but less than 50, result should be grade C. If he scores more than 50 but less than 75, answer should be B. If he scores more than 75, the grade should be A. So this is how we need to check. And like that, suppose say there are 10,000 people score we have, and based on that, we need to declare the grade. Now 79 is the score. Okay, what should be the grade? Answer, just manually check and tell me.
A.
That's what the answer, right? But like that, we have to check for 10,000 cases. So can we go and check manually one by one? Not possible.
No.
So in this case, how to get our answer? So here we need to write multiple if formulas. We do design such kind of formulas, but we never get success with one go. We keep trying, we do a lot of trial and error, and finally we get success and we may not get success also. Those kind of stories are there. But when this kind of situation comes, little bit we get nervous. Little bit we get confused while designing the formula. Trust me. So, how to make our job easy? How to write the formula? What should be the logic of writing the formula? Let's discuss everything over here. As I said, why people are getting nervous? Because they're not following the right approach. So we are not going to commit that mistake anymore. Whenever this kind of situation comes, people, first make a count. How many conditions we have? So please make a count. How many conditions?
Four.
Four.
So we know so far to write a condition, we need to depend upon one if formula. So for condition, for if formula. Think like a layman, no need to have any extraordinary thought process. But all these four conditions we need to write in a single cell, in one cell. So whenever you are going to combine multiple if formulas in one cell, then you should write total number of conditions minus one, means total three if formulas you have to write. This is our step one. But how to write? There should be a rule also you need to follow. Rule says that there should be a logical flow of your conditions, like either the ascending order or the descending order. Like you can start from fail, end up with pass, or you can go for grade A initially and end up with fail. It's up to you. But there should be a logical flow, right? So let's see how to write with the logical flow. We'll go for is equal to if, read the formula, what it demands me, logical test. So I'll take the score. If it is less than 25, then read the formula. What it asks me, value if true. It means the person is fail. And fail is our text. We must define within two double inverted quotes. Kindly confirm. Up to this clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, read the next input of the formula. Value if false. If the person is not fail, the ultimate result is pass. So we could have written within two double inverted quotes pass, but our problem starts there. If the person is passed, which category, which bucket system, which grading system it is going to fall? So to have this, again, we need to write one more if formula and what it demands, logical test. Again, taking the score. Now here people always get confused. What is the second condition? Should be more than 25 but less than 50. So how to write that condition? So should be more than 25 but less than 50. So since we are taking less than 25, taking that logical options over here in the ascending order or descending order I told you. So you should follow the same rhythm less than 50. So that makes our condition more than 25 but less than 50. Now if this is true, value is true, what should be the grade? The next grade is supposed to be grade C. So grade C, it is again our text we must write in within two double inverted quotes. Now what it says me value if false. Now if this is also not true, what is the next possible grade? Maybe grade B. But grade B purpose, what's the condition? More than 50, but less than 75. Start one more if formula. Logical test, again the score and taking the same logic, less than 75. If this is true, grade B, now comma. If this is also not true, value if false. Now suppose say if the person is not fail, neither falling in the category of grade C, not falling in the category of grade B. If none of these conditions are true, what's the ultimate answer? The ultimate answer is grade A. So within two double inverted quotes, we should write our grade A. Now think how many if formulas we have written? One, two, three. So as we discussed, total number of condition minus one if formulas we need to write. But all these if formulas, if you look at, it is still open. Ideally, what we need to do? We need to close them. And how many if formulas? Three. So three close brackets will be there. And the moment you hit enter, this is going to give you the result over here. And that is going to happen as nested if formulas. Check it out. I believe this is working. So this
Okay.
kind of formulas we need mostly in the templates. While you're designing, you can keep all the formulas ready, and depending upon the user's input, output will be automatically declared. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. All right, so I believe it's working fine. Yeah. So again, taking the live data, keep practicing. As I told you, the approach always follow the same, and there should be a logical flow of your formula. And trust me, it will definitely work fine for you. Now, let's see what are the other logical formulas we will be using in our routine activities, naming called and or, how to use it. See, and formula, what it does, it checks multiple conditions, and if at all the conditions are true, then only the answer it will be true. I repeat, and formula, what it does, it checks all the conditions, and if all the conditions are true, then only answer will be true, else it will be false. Let's see. If I go for and formula, logical one. So I'll take the example of second one, score of A greater than 30. Just type as it is. This is our first logic to be checked, comma. Then it asks me logical 2, score of B less than 60. This is also will be checking. Now take a look at my screen. Score 50, is it greater than 30? Yes, technically answer is true. Score 90, is it less than 60? No, technically answer is false. So one is true, one is false. And we are operating with and. And I told you for and purpose, all the conditions are to be satisfied. Since one is not satisfied, what will be the answer? False. Did you get that? Yes. So this is how we have understood that and formula, what it does, it checks multiple conditions. If all the conditions are true, then only it will be saying true. If any condition is not satisfied, it will be showing the answer false. This is called your and formula. Check it out. Is it working? Hope this AND formula is working.
Yes.
Now the same logic we'll be checking with OR. So OR formula, what it does, it also checks multiple conditions. If any condition is satisfied, it will be giving the answer true. That is nothing but opposite of our AND formula. So just see how it works. We'll go for same logic instead of AND, we'll go for OR. So we'll go and check score of A, 50. Is it greater than 30? Yes. So answer is technically true. So it is not going to check the further conditions because the first condition itself is satisfied. And that is what or does if any condition is satisfied, ultimately answer is true. So it will be giving the answer as true over here. So this is how sometimes whenever it is necessary, people, you can make use of this formulas over there along with the if formulas. If and if and or, you should use it. So this is how we have understood how to use our logical conditional formulas, people, over there. Okay. If all are clear, then we'll move to the next. Please confirm.
Done.
Yes, sir.
No problem. So next we'll go for our some more functions regarding the called as aggregate functions, which will be again helping you designing the summary reports, tabular reports, or any kind of templates you're designing. This formula is going to help you. So we have got some data. Let us first discuss what we have. So we have got some employee related information, people, over here, like date of joining, name of the employees, division they belong to, salary they draw, and the training expenses incurred upon them. The entire list is available. Now, taking all these 5 columns into reference, we need to answer all these 6 questions. So we'll go for our question number 1. Count occurrence of division HFD. So now the question is, which column first you deal with? We need to deal with our division column. And what we need to check, wherever HFD is there, how many times HFD is appearing, that we need to check and give a count of that. Well, so to have a criteria based counting, we have got a ready-made formula. The name is called count if. Count if. Now read the formula. What it is asking is the range. So as we discussed, which column we have to deal with is the division column. So we need to select starting from the first division to the last, not the header, only the data you have to select. Comma. What's the next one? Criteria. What's our criteria? HFD. How to define? You can define within two double inverted quotes as HFD, since this is our text, or you can go to the division column wherever HFD is there. Just one cell you have to select out of this. And the moment you hit enter, this is going to give you a result of 28. So this is called our criteria based counting at any point of time if you do. So kindly check it out. Is this the same value received? Right, all of you are getting 28. The first question's answer. Anybody not getting or different answer, you can ask me. All right, so now we'll go for our second question. Count salary less than 1,50,000 US dollar. So we need to go and check it out in the salary column. Wherever the value is less than 1,50,000, how many times it is appearing, and we have to count and give the result. So again, criteria based counting. So let's go for that. Count if. Read the formula. Range. Which range we have to deal? Salary. Then, comma, criteria. What's our criteria?
Less than 1,50,000
How to define that?
with a less than symbol.
Right. But here you need to understand certain concept. See, whenever the formulas conditions like less than, greater than, less than equal to, less than or greater than equal to, not equal to, such kind of conditions you need to define, you must write within two double inverted quotes. Okay. And now this is going to give you 51. Check it out. All of you got the same result. So any difficulties? Anybody is not clear or getting different answer?
I got same answer.
Okay. Fine. Now let's go for question number 3. Sum salary for division RAD. So first we need to go and deal with division column. Wherever RAD is, we need to find out. Then corresponding salary, we have to make a total. So basically, we need to do a criteria based sum. And we have a ready-made formula naming called sum if. Read the formula. This asks for range. So which range we need to deal as we discussed in the division column. Then it asks for criteria. What's our criteria is RAD. Within two double inverted quotes, you can define, comma. Then it asks for sum range. Which range you will be applying the sum formula in the salary column. So you can select the whole salary and hit enter. The moment you go for this, you can see the result you'll be getting 90,64,787. So this is how, whenever there is a need, you can go for criteria based sum, and that's called sum if. Now we'll go for question number 4. Some salary above 2 lakh US dollar. So in the salary column, we need to deal, and wherever it is more than 2 lakh cases are there, we need to make a total of that. So again, we have to do a criteria based sum that is called sum if range, which range in the salary column, criteria above 2 lakhs. We know how to define within two double inverted quotes greater than 2 lakhs. We need to define, right? Comma, what's the next one? Sum range. Which range you will be applying the sum formula? So again, we need to apply sum only in the salary column. So we can go and define again the salary column, but that is not required. Since our range and sum range is the same range, there is no point of extending the formula by giving a sum range one more time. So we can complete our formula with criteria itself, and the moment you hit enter, this is going to give you the result 1 crore 32 lakh 63,214. And that's it again, criteria based sum. How to define, we got that result. Kindly confirm, have you received the same answer? Any difficulties?
Yes.
Right. Now, let us go for our next question. Some salary more than 50,000 US dollar, but less than 1,50,000 USD. So which column we have to deal in the salary column? First, what we need to make more than 50,000 cases, we need to find out. What's next again? Less than 1,50,000, we need to bring it out. So whatever it is falling between 50,000 to 1,50,000, those cases salary only we have to make a total. So basically here we need to do a criteria based sum. We came to know, but how many criterias? It is of more than one. So whenever you have more than one criteria based sum to be done, sum if is not going to help us. We need to write a formula called sum ifs. Very powerful, but bit peculiar. So let's be more focused. Just say what it demands me, sum range. So which range you will be applying the sum formula in the salary column. Then it is asking me criteria range 1. So what is my criteria range 1? This is the place where people commits a mistake. So here you would have understood, okay, my criteria range is more than 50,000. That is not your criteria range, that is your criteria 1. But it is asking criteria range 1. So more than 50,000 cases where you will be searching, this is asking. So we'll be searching in the salary only, right? So again, we need to go back to our salary and give it the result over here. So that becomes my criteria range 1, comma. What's the next one? Criteria 1. So now as for the question, what is the first criteria? More than 50,000. And we know how to define that. Then it asks me criteria range 2. So what is our criteria range 2? So my second criteria is less than 1,50,000, but where to search? Again, in the same salary, right? So I should go for the same criteria over here, or criteria range only, D4 to D94, the same range, comma, criteria 2. What is my second criteria? Less than 1,50,000. How to define that? Within two double inverted quotes, less than 1,50,000, we need to define. Now bracket close, this is going to give you the result 21 lakhs 99,323. Check it out. Are you getting the same? So question 5 answers some ifs, how to write. I believe you got a clarity on that. Any difficulties? Now please find the answer for question number 6. You know now how to write your sum if, count if, sum ifs and all. So please answer the question number 6. Answer should be 84 to 84. Check it out where the mistake happened. I'm writing the formula for you. Okay, so could you please confirm? One, two has confirmed. How about others?
Done.
Okay.
But I was trying that. I mean, in between symbol. It was not working. I mean, I got the answer as 0 initially.
Yeah, obviously, how in between symbol, that and symbol, how you will be giving it over here. And formula, what it does. First
No,
of all,
not the
use.
end. Not the end.
Mhm,
Not the end. With some ifs
mhm,
only, the in
mhm.
between, uh, the greater than and less than equal to both.
Both condition, how it will work. See, condition, it can be taken only one. Criteria is one. That's why it is asking criteria one, criteria two, criteria three separately. It is not giving criteria one comma criteria two. Correct? So even if you have
Right. I
multiple,
was trying to write. I was trying to write in a single inverted, single quote,
that will
both the
not
dates in a
work.
single quote. Yeah.
That will not work. All right. So now you got to know also when there is a number, how to define, if there is a date, how to define properly, and if it is a condition of less than, more than, or greater than, less than, equal to, all these things we got the clarity. So take all these conditions and make use of this new routine activities, people, and trust me, this is going to save a lot of time of yours. So kindly save all your files and close it. Now go to our sample case studies folder. There is a file I have shared with you naming called chart text. So we are going to discuss that now about charts and graphs. So we discussed since day one how to use the daily essential formulas to bring the accuracy at the workplace. Then we saw the various techniques, how to present your data, making it more informative, data, making it more presentable, some data analytical tool uses, handling the errors and different types of errors, how to address it. Then when you are working with your SAP downloaded or driven data, how to clean up the data. Then we saw how to use the artificial intelligence tool of Microsoft Excel called Flash Fill. Then if you have some ready-made boring data, how to present it dynamically or effectively by adding the slicers, converting the data into table, all these things we have seen. Then we have seen how to add the visuals to make our data more appealing over there in front of the audience, and people will love to see that. Then we saw the formulas which will be helping us again to import the data from different sources. And while designing the dashboard, summary report templates, how the formulas helps us. And when you are writing your conditional logic, how to write the conditional formulas, all these things we have seen. So now we are going to see that when you have your data analyzed just like a professionals and you are presenting in terms of a beautiful storytelling format, how to present your story with the charts and graphs. Okay. So go to our charts text files and you can see there is a quick chart sheet over here. And say, take an example. We have got these are the products we are selling to our customers, and this is the revenue we have made. Now, I have prepared my data, no doubt, but my boss is saying, Prabhas, why don't you plot this data in a graphical format? So you can keep your cursor anywhere in the data and go for Control A to select your data. And then over here on your keyboard, just press Alt F1. So when you press Alt F1, you can find a ready-made chart will be available over here. If F1 key is not your direct key, go with function Alt F1. Check, is it working?
Yes.
Now, suppose say the chart is prepared, but my boss is not happy watching the same. What did he say? He said me that Prabhas, you have prepared the chart, but it is not giving such a great look because I could not find over here the chart is somewhat giving a elegant look. It's not bigger in size. It's not neat and clean. It's not presentable. So why don't you make a chart so that when I'm expressing the same to the audience, people will have only the charts in place to discuss or to view. Chart should be bigger in size, neat and clean, presentable. If that is the need, then how to present it? Keep your cursor anywhere in the data and go for Control A. And on your keyboard, press F11, only F11. If it is not your direct key, go with function with F11. And you can see one exclusive chart sheet will be populated, naming called chart 1. And there will be only the chart, no data. And this is looking good, nice, pleasant to look at, and bigger in size also. So people can address it easily. So these are the two quick and easy ways. Plot your graph with two simple keyboard shortcut, Alt F1 to prepare the chart in the same worksheet, F11 to prepare or plot the chart in a different worksheet. So this is how two keyboard shortcuts we discussed. Now, coming back to our quick chart. Okay. Now let us go and discuss in this quick chart how to make our chart presentation better. If you remember in day 3, I told you when we are working with our pivot table, pivot chart, all these things we have discussed something about the chart. I told you whenever you have the chart in place, what is the first thing we should do? Anybody? So
Uh,
the first thing,
to sort it,
yeah.
uh,
Mhm. Yes, go ahead.
to sort it from in a storytelling format, like from highest to lowest or lowest to highest.
No, no, that was not the first step. See, I told you whenever you have the chart in place, first go to design and take the last style to make it glossy, to give a embossing effect, to give a shadow impact. You should go for the last style. Then inside the chart area, unwanted grid lines would be there. To remove the same, click on the plus symbol and remove the grid lines. So these are the two things first you should do with the same rhythm, and then only you can make your chart bit of meaningful, you can say. Then rest of the things we'll do later. But first these two things. Able to recollect those who have attended day 3. If you have practiced and followed the recording, the same thing you will be finding also. Don't worry. Now, once you have the chart in place, okay, over here, to make your chart more informative, just over here, you go for right click on any of the columns inside the chart area and go for format data series. So when you go for format data series, a dialog box is going to appear, and in this dialog box, go for the first icon, and there will be a fill tab, and within fill you'll be finding vary colors by point to make it colorful. This is one. Then again go for right click on the column and go for add data labels. So you'll be finding along with the colorful pattern, the various respective values also will be populated inside the chart area. So this is how you can make your chart informative. Kindly confirm you're able to get this. Right click on any column, format data series. Here you'll be getting this kind of icon, vary colors by point for the colors. Then again go for right click on any column. You will be having add data label, one option. You have to check the add data label and automatically respective values will be added.
And that add data label for we can do that all at a time, right? I'm
Yes.
I'm not getting that option. I'm
Okay,
getting
you
it
can share the
one by
screen.
one.
You can, yeah, you can share the screen, no problem.
Okay.
Delete that, the one you have got it, that you delete. Individually you have created, you that no need to do that. Go for undo or you have to delete individually. Just select one. Let's see, just select one. The
Okay.
data label, no, the data label one you select. One data label you select. No, not the column, the values. You can see four, I mean, three data labels, it has the values. Just select one of the data label.
Okay.
Now press the delete button from the keyboard, press the delete button. And just right click on any of the column. Right click, don't go for left click. Right click on any of the column. Exactly on column, you keep your pointer, right click. Then go for add data labels.
Okay.
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 Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So I'm taking control back on the screen. So here, now once we have made it, now to bring the latest style of our data presentation, when you have the data labels in place, first of all, keep your cursor in one of the data label. All the data label would be in selection. First of all, you make it bold to make it bit of presentable and readable, make it bold. Now, once you make it bold over here, if you believe the font size still is not in a readable format, then you can increase the font size by Control, Shift, and greater than symbol. What is that? Control, Shift, and greater than symbol to increase the font size. The same will be applicable for your MS Word, MS PowerPoint, Outlook, wherever you're using, you'll be getting that. But in Excel, only if you have a charts or graphs or a shape, then only you can use this. And this is what we have done already in our day two when we go for sorting and we have presented our data having a shape, connecting the data, subtotal formula, if you recall.
Yes. Yes.
Right. Now, once we have done with this over here, then next thing, the latest style, it says that when you're having the data labels, there is no point of having axis scale. And if you are maintaining the axis scale, then there is no point of having the data labels. But if you compare which one is giving an instant information, so definitely data label is somewhat looking good. So select the axis scale and press the delete button. Now, once we have our chart title, if you look at, it is appearing in the center. So those days have gone when people were happy watching the chart title in the center. Nowadays, if you see the chart title, people always prefer to see in the right side of the chart area. And this is what mostly you'll be finding all the big four presentations, McKinsey & Co, Bain and Company, the Boston Consulting Group, or if you are reading the Economic Times newspaper, or if you are visiting to the Money Control site, you'll be finding the date chart title always in the right side of the chart area. Okay. Now, once you have done with this, as I told you since day one, that whenever you are presenting your data, when you present as it is, people don't like it. People don't like it. Okay. So what people are expecting, that you should present your data in such a way, it should tell a beautiful story to the people. Okay. So how to present your data then? Select your data, what you have with you, and go for your data sorting. I told you in day two, what is the shortcut for data sorting? Alt D
Alt
S.
D S.
Very good. So D for data, S for sorting. So Alt D S. Automatically, it will be giving you a sorting dialog box on the screen. Now here, you have to go for sort by. You have to choose sales in USD, the column from the drop down, and order you should choose largest to smallest. And the moment you click OK, can you see a beautiful story turns up over here? So whoever is watching my data, they can make out what I'm presenting over there. That from cocoa powder, we got the maximum revenue, and from custard powder, we got the least revenue. So even though a lemon is also sitting, he can make out what I'm trying to express. Even if my absence, somebody from my teammates also presenting the data, people are not going to struggle. So this is how people we have understood whenever we happen to create a chart, how to create a beautiful chart, how to bring the latest style, how to make it informative, and finally, how to present our data in a beautiful story format. We got the understanding. Any doubt? Any queries?
No, sir.
Right. So here, the moment you have got it, people, no doubt, people would be happy whatever we are presenting, but audience, they will still have the objections. Yes, we did this much, but still will be having the objection. Yes, where this amount of data what we are preparing, it's too much of text, and the text are lengthy, and the text are appearing in a slanting order. So we are forcing our audience to bend their head by another 30 degree or 45-degree to read all these things, and that is what people don't like it. But we are helpless, our products are lengthy, what to do? So where the thing it has gone wrong, the thing is we did not do the right selection of the chart when you have too much of text. So this is the place where it has gone wrong. So how to rectify this? Just see. Whenever you want to give the equal amount of importance to your text as well, and you want to give a helping hand to the audience to read all these things properly, then this is not the right format of your chart. So how to take the right format? See, select your chart and go for Control D to make a duplicate, D for duplicate. And that one, keep it below for your reference. And in this chart, just go for right click. You will be getting an option change chart type. Change chart type. And when you click that change chart type, with immediate effect, the entire chart family is going to appear on the screen. And there you have an option called bar. And when you click on that bar category, it will show you a clustered bar. Let it be. Now click OK, and with beautiful effect, it will be turning up. So this data now you can make it readable over there. And if you believe people are really struggling, and if you believe this is taking a lot of space, you can reduce the width also. The chart is going to give still a clear and clean picture. So now you tell me which one looks better, option one or option two?
Two. Option two.
Definitely. And this is what nowadays more popular. So this is how we have understood. Right selection of the chart is also very, very important, and that comes out of your practice and experience. Because Microsoft Excel has never designed any kind of tutorial. If you're working in sales data, take this. If you're working with marketing data, take this. It is up to us which one is ideal. People can connect with the data properly. You have to take a call of that. Now, once we have done it, one more thing you can notice, though we have created a beautiful chart, but people are not still be happy with this. Why? Because our data we have expressed in largest to smallest order. But our chart is, if you look at, it is showing smallest to largest order. So this is not having a sync over there in my data to the chart. Can you see that? what I'm highlighting, able to connect with it. Data is in small, largest to smallest, but our chart is showing smallest to largest. So this is the place where people will be taking the objection. So how to rectify this? See, the best technique, I'll tell you one. Select your text in the chart area, select your text and go for right click upon the same. And there will be an option over here, our format axis. And when you go for format access over here, a dialog box is going to appear and there you have a very beautiful option, categories in reverse order. The checkbox is not activated. Kindly activate the same.
Please repeat the step one more time.
Right. Just select your text, whatever you have in the chart area, right click upon the same. You will be getting an option format access. And once you go for format access over here, then you will be getting an option categories in the reverse order. This checkbox needs to be activated.
Okay.
And now the moment you have done with this, it will automatically change the order. Whatever your data order is there, same thing, the chart also will be appearing, largest to smallest. So this is how we have understood how to create a beautiful chart and how to take a call what type of chart I should use when I have a huge volume of data or text. So this is the story of our quick chart. Any doubt, any story, any queries on the quick chart part? Fine. Now this chart, if you look at where we have prepared in Excel. Now the same people will be expecting in PowerPoint. Now how to present this data in PowerPoint? Just see, just for information, you can select your chart and go to your PowerPoint over here. You don't need to do much things over here. You can simply just go for right click. And here we have got different options like keep source formatting. You can keep it. Now this chart is ready. Okay. So probably we have to rework with our text part. Not a problem that we can do. And remember one thing, when you're presenting it to the audience, do not show the entire information at once. Just take the chart, going to animations, animation pane, and there you should choose add animation, more entrance effects, and then you should go for dissolving. And once you do that, you'll be having a animations appears, no problem. But we have got multiple products over here. So one animation is not going to be enough. For that, what you can do, you can go to effect options from the same animations tab. Instead of as one object, you should go for by element in series. And now this is going to appear on click of button, see, one by one. And if you want to take a pause, you can stay just simple, right? And people let them chit chat, let them discuss, let the debate comes. You can explain. And whenever you are explaining something, people have no other option left with you. They have to listen me. There is no other options. So this is how you are not only presenting your data, you're also making it informative and you're keeping your audience engaged with your storyline. And the people, whomever you are addressing it, whenever you say something, they are also listening to you. So this is how, whenever you have the chart in Excel, you don't need to struggle much while presenting in PowerPoint, and how to present it, we got a glimpse of that. All right. So this is how we have seen how to prepare a quick chart and present it. Right. Now we'll go to our next chart sheet people, naming called combo chart. This is one of the most important chart type and we need it the most whenever you have multiple columns or different scaling items. So in that case, whatever our ready-made chart X and Y axis will not be enough and we need to create one more axis. So let's see what is this combo chart first. See, we have got month-wise sales and sales in terms of percentage is also available. I have selected everything I'll go for plotting the graph. What is the shortcut? Alt F1. And as I told you, whenever you have the chart in place, what is the first thing we should do? We should go to design
Select the last
and
design.
very good, last style. And then the next step is you can select plus symbol and remove the grid lines. This is what we need to do. Then we should speak about the rest. Kindly confirm. Is it ready?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. Now, once we have done with this over here, then if you look at our chart, there is a legend called sales. And this is showing all the blue color columns. These are about our legends, blue colors sales data. Now there is one more legend also available, naming called sales percentage. If you look at it is there, but this is not available anywhere in the chart. But it is, if you have a close look, it is sitting somewhere in the bottom of my axis. You can see. So this is what the reason why this kind of chart we can't ever present it to the audience. And why this kind of things are happening with us, let's discuss. See, technically, if you look at our sales data, it is there in number format. But our sales percentage data is there in percentage format. These two formats cannot be combined with one axis. And that's the reason why we need to create one more axis in the right side of our chart area. And this is the place where whatever our sales percentage data, we are going to present it in this axis. And that axis will be named as Z or Z axis, or we call it as a secondary axis, or in the Excel language, we call it as a combo chart. Now, why combo chart is needed? You got some understanding. Now, how to create that? Simple. You can right click on the chart area. You have a option, change chart type. And when you go for change chart type, people, it will take you to your entire chart family where you could find there is a combo options in the extreme bottom left. And by default, the sales data, it is showing clustered column. Let it be. Don't need to change that. Sales percentage, it is showing line. Instead of line, we go for our line with markers. So when you go for this line with markers and select and click it, then click OK, then it is appearing. Now, in the previous case, it was not at all reflecting, but now it is visible. But still, it is sitting in the bottom, isn't it? So how to make it more elegant? Just see. I'll go for right click, change chart type. In the same combo, can you see we have an option called secondary axis? One box is there. So this checkbox has to be enabled. Now, when you enable this checkbox, can you see with immediate effect, our secondary axis will be generated and the line chart will be there since we have taken line with markers. So this is how people, once you have done with this, go and click OK and see the beauty. This is called your combo chart. This will be very, very helpful. So whenever you have many more columns of data to express in one plot, you can always take a call. Certain columns you can retain in primary axis, certain to be in secondary axis, and it will not dilute your chart. Entire chart will be more expressive. People can connect with your data easily. So this is how people, we have understood how to create a combo chart if necessary over there in Excel. Check it out. All these things are working. Any doubt, any queries?
Done.
Right. Now, we'll go to our next chart type, naming called budget versus actuals or target versus actuals or planned versus actuals. This is again one of the important chart type or maybe in recurring in action every month end, quarter end, half yearly or yearly presentations when you make it. Without spending much time with minimum efforts, how to create an eye-catchy presentation, we are going to discuss that. Take a look. We have got month-wise target is there, and whatever the actuals we have achieved, that is also there listed over here. Now in this, the moment I go for this, you can notice I have selected my data and go for Alt F1 to prepare a quick chart. And I told you when you have the chart in place, first thing first, go into design, take the last tile and click on the plus symbol, remove the grid lines. First thing first, kindly confirm, is it done?
Done.
Right.
Yes, done.
Right. Now, what you need to do simply, rest of things, you know how to make it informative, data labels, everything you want to go for it, that I know. Okay. Now, right click on the chart area and go for change chart type. Then you should go for combo. Okay. Now combo, if you look at target data, it is showing clustered column. Ideally, our target data should be expressed in terms of a line chart. So go for the drop down and choose line with markers. So the fourth options from the line category you should choose, that is called line with markers. And once you select line with markers and then actuals, it is showing line. So instead of line, go for extreme top column category in the drop down and choose the very first one, clustered column. And now the moment you go and click OK, see a beautiful target versus actual chart is ready with minimum efforts. You can notice. So this is how you shouldn't spend much time for preparing the graphs and charts. By simple techniques. And here, one thing you can notice how my charts are looking so neat and clean, presentable, because I'm not using any kind of background. Can you notice that? It is just a simple, plain, transparent background I'm keeping it. Ideally, what you are not supposed to do, you should not just fill this kind of backgrounds. This is always been not an eye-catchy. It will not be giving a pleasant look. So don't give any kind of backgrounds which people don't like it. And another reason, the more the background colors are high definition, again, the size will be more. So always keep it very clean, neat and clean like this. And from the white background, anything you populate, this will be standing out of the crowd. All right. Hope it is clear. Budget versus actuals with minimum efforts. Any questions?
Yes.
All right. So now we'll go for our next chart type. Forget about this waterfall. Go to pie chart. Sometimes some people, they are very particular about the chart. Even though you prepare a beautiful chart in column, line, or anything in terms of bars, they will still ask you, no, I don't want to see all those things. Get me a pie chart. Now, if there is a need to plot a graph in a pie chart format, how to present it effectively, and how to present our data in a beautiful storytelling format, we are going to witness that. Stay focused. So, what we are going to do now is we have our month-wise sales data. You can select, go to insert. There you have a pie option. In the chart section, you have a pie option. And in this, the pie chart, if you look at, the very first option is there called 2D pie. Just select that. Then the chart is ready, but the chart is not giving a great look. I told you, whenever you have the chart in place, go into design, take the last tile. Now it is somewhat looking better. This kind of legends is not playing a role in this kind of charts, people. You can select it and simply press the delete button. So that space we can utilize for our chart presentation, right? Now coming to chart title, I told you the chart title where it's supposed to be appear.
Right.
Yes. So drag it to the right. Chart title is ready. Now the chart, to make it informative, what we should have, right click on any of the pie and go for add data labels. And when you go for the data labels, some data labels are inside the pie, some are outside of the pie. Oh, she's select one of the data label and right click upon that. Select one of the data label and right click upon that. You have an option format data labels. And when you go to format data labels, you will be finding over here a dialog box appears, and if you scroll down, it shows the label position as best fit. So instead of best fit, go for outside end. Choose outside end. And the moment you choose outside end, all these data labels is going to appear outside of the pie area. Then make it bold and make the format little bit of font size increased. And how to increase the font size? I told you a keyboard shortcut. What was that?
Control Shift.
And
Greater than.
absolutely. Control Shift and greater than symbol. So you can increase your font size. But remember one thing. Whenever you go for a pie chart, people, your data labels cannot be ever expressed in terms of numbers. It has to be always in terms of percentage. So here you can notice one percentage, one checkbox is not activated. You can activate the same. Then value you can deactivate. Above exactly the value is there that you can deactivate. So your data labels only retained in percentage. But that will be leading to a lot of questions in the audience mind that this 13% of green symbol belongs to which month, pertains to which product. So before people ask, you have to give it to them. How? There is an option called category name. The checkbox is not activated. You can activate. So you can see each and every month-wise data labels will be populated. But the problem is it is appearing in two different lines and it is occupying a lot of space. One data label is overlapping with other. All these problems we are seeing, isn't it? So how to make a neat and clean presentation? Here you could see there is a separator box and there is a drop down. And in this drop down, you should select the option called space. And when you select the space option with immediate effect, your data labels will be aligned properly. You can notice, right? So percentage to be activated, value to be deactivated, category name to be on, then separator box, dialog box in that drop down space to be selected. So these are the things we did. Hope it is done. All of you are getting the same feeling the way I'm showing the screen.
Yes.
If we
Right.
want to only differentiate the sales of suppose November, so how to do that?
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. We are not yet completed. Right. So now, whatever we have done so far, people, that is what anybody can do. Anybody, yes. As I told you, nowadays, when you present your data as it is, nobody likes to see this kind of chart. Okay. So now the question is how to make our presentation in a beautiful storytelling format. So ideally, remember one thing, whenever you are plotting your pie graph or pie chart over here, first of all, you need to identify which month you got the maximum percentage or maximum occupancy. So in our case, if you look at May month, we have got the maximum occupancy. Can you please confirm?
Yes.
So that has to be exactly, it has to be aligned in this format. So technically, where November month is there, your May month should appear over there. Well, is it a mandatory rule? No, it's not mandatory, but this is what the latest style again. When you are presenting your data in a beautiful story format, you have to bring it to that position. But how to bring it? See, there's a beautiful option. Right click on any of the pie. You have the option Format Data Series. You can click on that. A dialog box will appear where you could see angle of first slice. One marker is there, one bar is there. That marker you have to slowly slide on the bar and you can see your pie chart starts rotating. And exactly you have to bring the May month exactly in that position. So somewhere around in 130 degree, you will be finding the May month is appearing just facing to the diagonal corner of top left, right? Check it out.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, once we have done with this, next 2 minutes, watch my screen. See, now what I need to do, I need to select one of the pie and see the entire pie chart, all the pies are selected. I will select again that May month pie. Now only May month pie would be in selection. So what I'm going to do now, like the moment you order a pizza or you go to the Pizza Hut for the dining, how do you take a slice out? Similarly, similar fashion, you should take one out. And that turns out to be a beautiful story. Whoever is watching my data, they can make out of the entire year during the month of May, we got the maximum revenue. That is more expressive, right? So that answered your query, Shubha, the way you were asking me that how to take one slice out,
Yes, yes.
right? So this is how you should make your pie chart presentations, people. And trust me, whoever is watching, they will be definitely be happy and definitely they will be asking question. How do you take only one slice out? That's what we want. People should ask us, how did you do it? Then we have succeeded reaching to that or penetrating or to hitting them. Okay. So this is how people, the most important charts what we cover over here. Pie chart also we covered one. Now I'm going to take you through one more beautiful chart just for the information. You may come across this kind of chart also sometimes. So this is called our benchmark chart. Okay. Mostly our Europeans and Americans, they follow this kind of chart. But there is no such kind of chart naming called benchmark chart in our chart family. This is nothing but the other versions of your target versus actuals or budget versus actuals or planned versus actuals. Now, why it is called as benchmark chart? Because you can create your target line in this format, like kind of hyphen symbol you can operate. So anything exceeding to that limit, it means you have made some surplus business. If it is within that limit, then you have not achieved your target, something you can call it and make it more expressive. So don't be in the impression that we have ever called benchmark chart in our chart family. No, this is just a coin term. People have named it. There is no such kind of chart at all. All right. This is just for the information. Now, I'll take you one automatic chart. That will be very, very helpful most of the time. Stay focused. What is the meaning by automatic chart? Do you believe that something will be commanding to Excel and Excel will plot a graph? No, there is no such kind of artificial intelligence so far that will be commanding to Excel and plotting the graph for us. Yes, it may come in the short future because the way we are getting ahead to our AI and BI tools, and it's never been so far also. We may get such kind of features in Microsoft Excel to be enabled. But right now it is not there. Yes. So take a look. Our data, whatever we have, starting from Jan to December, out of that, March to December, kindly select and delete. The numbers will be varying. Don't worry about it. Numbers will be different for all this. Now, just watch my screen for a while. After deleting, just watch my screen for 2 minutes. See, I have the data of 2 months. I plot a graph, no doubt. Now, tomorrow, when I complete my business for the month of March and when I populate my data, do you see your March month data is populating inside the chart? No. So, what we do, we select our chart, then again we realize, oh, our data is not extended to March. So, slightly we take our mouse help and we just drag like this. Then only the March data is getting done over here inside the chart area. Nothing wrong. What we are doing is absolutely fine. But the problem is that activity is recurring in nature. Every month end, I need to go on slightly increase that range. You can ask me a question, Prabhas, can't we take a anonymous range like this? What will be happening? It will be creating the unwanted blank space. So in this format, if I present it, people will be asking, Prabhas, why there are so many blanks? So can I say, sir, we are yet to complete the financial year or business calendar year. Is this the right way? What's it? Can I say to my audience that we are yet to complete the other months? That's why it is showing blanks. Is it the right way to express?
No.
Definitely not. So whatever the practice we have, people, we have to stop that. Now, see the beauty. Select your data, start working with me. Select your data and convert your data into table. I told you in day 2 and day 3 as well how to convert your data into table. What is the keyboard shortcut?
Control T.
Control
Very
T.
good. Very good. Control T. Go for it and click OK. Now plot the graph. And whatever your formatting you have learned, you can apply it. As I told you, first go for the design, the last one. Then click the plus symbol, remove the grid lines. Then go for add data labels and increase the font size. So whatever we have learned, we can implement everything over here. Once it is ready, do let me know.
Till add data labels done.
Okay. So what is missing? See what I'm showing on the screen. Did you get the same?
No.
So what is missing, you believe?
Uh, it seems like your data has been automatically changed. Yes.
See, data is changing. That's not, don't worry about it. I am getting a different data. You will be getting different data. And even Shifa is also going to have a different data. Don't worry about it. But the chart, is it looking like this the way I'm presenting?
No.
So what is missing? That's what I'm asking. Look at my chart and your chart and tell me what is missing.
The
In
Feb
my
month is highlighted.
Yeah.
The colorful application is missing, right? So right click on any of the
Right.
column, right click on any of the column, format data series. You have the option and going to format data series, the first icon will be fill and line. Within that, fill vary colors by point. If you go for it, you'll be getting the colorful application. Just check it out,
Yes.
right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, let's take a look. Now, just 1 minute, watch my screen. Now, suppose say tomorrow I complete my business for the month of March. I'll just update my March. For the timing, you update only the month column. Don't update any data. It will come automatically. Then I go for April. April is added. If I go for May, May is included. If I go for June, June is added. See, I no need to focus on my chart area. Automatically, it is getting populated. Data labels are also getting added. It is also giving the equal interval or spacing between the months. Everything is happening. And what's the beauty of doing this? Any point of time, if I want to present my quarterly information, I can go to my month column and the filter, I can choose only April, May, and June. And the moment you click OK, with immediate effect, it will show that quarter's results. So unwanted data we are not showing to the people, unwanted questions are not going to come, right? So again, converting your data into table, how to make your chart dynamic, that also we saw, right? Give it a try. So this is how people, the moment you have the data, how to create a beautiful charts and graphs out of this, we have seen. And again, I'll tell you, charts and graphs is somewhat is your about all your innovative ideas and creativity, how you are presenting. All the information is there in right click and chart design only. You don't need to go anywhere else to find out the secrets of that. So only thing is you have to explore what is what. And chart is something, it comes out of your experience and practice. So you have to keep watching, as I named the charts of the companies like the big four, KPMG, PwC, EY, Deloitte. Then you should go for Bain and Company, McKinsey and Co, the Boston Consulting Group. If you see their charts, you'll be getting a lot of ideas that how to make your chart presentation better. Because line, column, pie, bar, these are our regular charts. Now, sometimes people feel that these are outdated, do something different. So how to do it? Then you have to take the options like combo. You have to take the option like scatter plot. You have to take the option, the combinations of line with column, something like that. Then only people would be happy, right? So keep practicing upon your real-time data. Okay. Yes. Any questions? If you have, hope you enjoyed. The session was informative as usual.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It was.
Right. So only thing is you have to practice a lot. As I told you, overnight nothing is possible. Now you got the roadmap, how to deal with the same. So only thing the technique you have to implement at your workplace. And trust me, this much, this 16 hours, what you have learned, you can make your life easy in the corporate world. But don't stop there. As I told you, there is always a next level of learning. So learn more into Power BI, the next generation reporting tool. And trust me, you can make a lot of difference in terms of dashboards, visualization, connecting the large volume of data. And definitely you can bag some appreciation at your workplace. And when you go for a switching of the jobs also, you'll be getting a handsome salary. Trust me. Because nowadays, Power BI is in full demand. Wherever you go, along with your existing academical skills, or the good amount of marks or whatever the platform or application knowledge you have, but still they will be demanding. If you have Power BI knowledge, will be an added advantage. So don't stop there. Keep learning because learning is a never-ending process. All right, that's what I would like to say. And whenever you have any queries, I'm there to support. Don't worry, you can drop me a mail very well with your sample data, and I will be guiding you with the right formula, functions, help. And I would request you, if you like our program, keep spreading the entire things to your among with your friends or colleagues, so that they will be also benefited out of this and will be also getting some nominations. That's what I would like to say. Anyway, anything from your side you would like to express, you can.
As of now, I'm good.
Okay.
Sir, I just wanted to tell you that thank you very
Hmm.
much. And
Okay.
all the first class which I had was like, it was like worth spending 16 hours with you. It was all worth, and it was very productive. And
Okay.
the way of your explaining the things are like, it's very simple, precise, and to the point, which anybody can understand. And it's like very nice. I really had a very good time, and I'm very much like now I have developed, and I wanted to learn more about Excel now.
Good. That's a good amount of words and the kind compliment of yours. I would like to take it. Thank you so much, Shifa. So keep practicing, I would say. All right, guys. So there is no query. Shall we call it as a day? As usual, you'll be getting the recordings by maximum 9 p.m. tonight. And I'll be consolidating all the 4 days recordings. Again, I'll drop a final mail. And you'll be getting your course completion certificate maximum by day after tomorrow. But I request you, please drop your exact name to be printed on the text in the format so that there won't be any kind of spelling mistake, and that you can add it in your LinkedIn profile as an accolade, and you'll be getting more visibility in the employee side as well. All right.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fine then. So thank you so
I would
much.
like to ask you, sir.
Yeah.
I would like to ask you that do you take